When you shake your shake.
Who will you promote for you? Yes, I see when you are. Please don't overshake me. Tell me.
When you notice the commentator going silent, kindly know that we are trying as much as we can to ensure that the action reaches you with as little hindrance as possible, with as sharp images as we can, and with as effective audio and video as we can. Now I think I am as well welcoming the Break and Finish Live Facebook audience to the audio. Please, if you're watching from Facebook, please give me a thumbs up if you can get the audio. Watching from 𝐀𝐟𝐫𝐢𝐜𝐚 Photography, Facebook and YouTube, give me a thumbs up if the audio is clear. Supporting 𝐶𝐻𝐠, supporting 𝐁𝐿𝐴, please give me a thumbs up. Now, dear Africa, this one will be the last match of the day between Malawi's Stanford given 𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐴 and 𝐶𝐻𝐠 Chandiga the Scorpion, coming all the way from Uganda. The two players that have never ever taken on each other in a long race, in a money match, but I do remember them taking each other on at least once in a comp, maybe twice, and both times the Scorpion came winner. Their story started off in there. That was 2023, which should be the best year in 𝐴𝐻𝐿's career, when he surprised everybody as much as he's surprising us, but in a horrible way, missing the easiest of them balls. In that year, he won the Billiards Cafe Classic, which was the first international competition in which he was participating in Lusaka, in Zambia. He did beat Uganda's Ibrahim Sejemba in that final. And thereafter, there was 2 weeks later, the Queen's International Double Elimination Competition that was being held in Bulawayo. I do remember Caesar traveling to Bulawayo via the Victoria Falls the following day. 𝐴𝐻𝐿 posted himself at Victoria Falls as though insinuating that he is following Caesar wherever he was going. And reaching Bulawayo, 𝐴𝐻𝐿 beat everybody that came his way. Caesar beat everybody that came his way. The two got to face off in the quarterfinals of their second life. A quarterfinal that was won by Caesar. I remember streaming that match that ended by a score of 7 frames to 3 on this very platform that you're watching. They also got to face off once more, I think, at Michana Pub and Grill in Nairobi in an Africa Super 16-man comp. Again won by Caesar. In a long race, they have never ever faced off. It's the commentator's opinion that Caesar starts off as the big favorite because he has a very good record in money matches, and yet 𝐴𝐻𝐿 is predominantly a tournament player, and yet he's taking on a long racer that has a score to settle. The worst version of Caesar to face when you are an opponent of his is the Scorpion that is wounded, especially after defeat against Ian, his countryman, yesterday. He will want 𝐴𝐻𝐿 to pay for the sins that were inflicted upon him by Ian, and no wonder the scoreline with as few minutes played as that is 5 frames to 0. It is the Scorpion in the lead. In the meantime, live commentary is coming to you by myself, Simon Peter Chebe, representing at the gymnasium of the Institute of Sports at the National Stadium at the Federal Institute of Lagos in Nigeria. Stanford, Griven, 𝐴𝐻𝐿 0, Caesar, Chandigarh, Scorpion 5, race to 15. Live commentary resuming shortly.
Let's go, boy. Are we doing it? You have to do it. Use your cross to do it. How many people are streaming it?
These are 700. YouTube. These are 700. Facebook, I believe it's 700. I'm refreshing a bit. 900. That is one. There's another. Pixels. Sharing. It's not yet fresh. I don't know why it's. Oh, I get the problem. He's streaming on the account because on his Facebook page, he's streaming another game. Someone is streaming. So he's streaming now on the account. The account has few friends. As we proceed with our last live stream of the day, I think that you are getting a good service. I believe you are having sharp images both on Facebook and YouTube, and in a very special way, I want to thank you for always keeping awake. While for us as streamers, myself in particular, it doesn't come that easy being awake this time and speaking sometimes throughout the course of the day. But then I also understand that for you it may be more challenging for the fact that some of you are watching in bed. Some of you wake up with your phones watching you, or your television sets watching you. And sometimes during weekdays, when you have to do work tomorrow, sometimes these streams coming during working time, and yet you remain loyal viewers. And from the deepest bottom of my heart, thank you, Africa. Now this one has the Scorpion leading, and the lead could grow. He may not have intended to have 𝐁𝐼𝐴's red occupy most of that corner pocket at the top right. As a matter of recovery, he may want to play yellow by red drive, then play the cue ball into the pile up of yellow and red at the corner pocket. He played a yellow into. He plays with precision and plays yellow behind. That is preciseness plus. Going for connection now. Play yellow into yellow, put the yellow at the corner pocket at the bottom right. The shot lacked power. That is how close 𝐁𝐼𝐴 came to losing the frame. And hopefully from a Malawian perspective, he does make a recovery. He's supposed to be a very big boy. He's one of the most consistent players on the continent for the last 3 years. Besides the victory of the Billiards Cafe Classic in 2023, he was at the Queen's International Classic quarterfinals in 2024. He did reach the Queen's International Final in 2025, losing out to the eventual winner Aiden Joseph. He did reach the Club Timbuktu International Carnival Final in 2025, losing out to the champion, that is Eshka Chimbwanda. By the way, that day he got a very respectable $6,000. But now, this match is seeing some of the worst pool that I have ever seen him play. It's a little bit alarming that given all of his quality, 𝐁𝐼𝐴, he's not shooting as good as his talent warrants. It's my opinion that he seems not to be training. Now Caesar has a big shot to try and play. Draw the cue ball backwards as close can be to the black. Backwards, close to the black, and the rest is a formality. To pot black diagonally to the corner pocket, bottom left, and it's in. Amidst a round of applause from the Nigerians who are chanting his name in the same exact way they normally hear on the streams. The Scorpion extends its lead. It is Caesar 6 and 𝐴𝐤𝐻 5 and rest to 15.
It's going on.
Like that precision.
Oh, okay.
To leave it just there. Everybody can play and draw back, but just leave it there. Just there. Straight line.
Is there any other person that can challenge?
In Uganda, he was beaten by Ian yesterday, so he's the best player in the country. But the other two players, who on their day, that is there. Price is even better than that. Ian will think twice before playing with Ibra in the race. Yes, there are about 7 other good players. And even then the players who are at the level, let me say who. You show me a decent player here, a good player from either Nigeria or Ghana.
Boss.
Okay, now like now I
top 5
in Nigeria. I'm saying this and with respect. I can give him 50 Ghanaian. They will beat you. And with respect. Because that time they play. They put tables open in the morning.
And you don't close until the next morning. Don't worry, me I will challenge you. I'll beat you. I'll give him 8 stats. I give him 8 raised to 10. 8 raised to 10.
How are you, my guy?
I'm good.
Just introduce yourself and something you have to say about this game.
I'm Ayo.
Yeah, Ayo.
So challenging.
Are you from Lagos State?
Yeah, I'm from Lagos.
How do you think this competition is impacting pool in Nigeria?
It's changing the perspective of pool in Nigeria. A lot of people think pool is meant for touts. Okay. You can see that you can be a professional pool player and be responsible. Yeah, and you can earn a living from playing pool.
Yes, it's possible.
Yes.
Because from this competition, someone is getting some good money, whoever it will be.
Some good money, yes. And definitely you have endorsement deals.
Yeah. And someone came in from Ghana, that is Sullivan. He's saying the reason he's playing, the reason he's competing is such that he can get sponsors in Ghana. And he's a very decent player.
Yes, he's a very decent player. He has actually eliminated some good players in Nigeria. And I see him going places actually.
We've witnessed something close to a wonder of a result. Precious, big Precious. He came close to beating Jerry.
Yeah, came close to beating Jerry. Yeah.
Can't that performance from Precious be an inspiration to young Nigerian shooters just to start playing, start shooting? For me, what I believe, when a country has a population of 200 million people, there are those 1,000 very good players who are hidden. They just want to be discovered.
Yes. I just discovered the guy, Big Fresh. Yeah. And after now, I think he's going to get some major promoters that will help him. And I think 𝐴𝐤𝐻 is looking out for him too.
Yeah. Thank you for the time, eh?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Will he be on target, the Scorpion? Will he? Yes, he will. He's playing as though he's possessed. The lead of the Scorpion grows and grows as worse can get for 𝐴𝐤𝐻. It is now 7-0. This one he has to do like tomorrow. The day is done. Just come and shake in the
Guys, you have been given an instruction. This is what you now did your own version of.
Yes. Bro,
Tomorrow. Extremely.
And thank you for watching. Page Santo, Julius Chimera, John Bosco, Michael, Lucky Louise, and all of you that are watching from the YouTube stream. I will be saying hi to the Facebookers shortly. 7 frames to 0. 𝐶𝐟 leads and playing once again like he's possessed. Yesterday was the worst version of 𝐶𝐟. Today he's complete beast mode. And I'm even starting to feel sorry for 𝐴𝐻𝐿. He's so big a player to be humiliated. Excluding his performances this year, I could very easily rate 𝐴𝐻𝐿 among the top 5 players of the African continent. Very easily from the results he has been getting the last 2 years, excluding this year once again. And the guy that you're looking at that is being humiliated is also on record the first pool player in the history of African pool to become overall sportsman of the year in his own home country. This guy is the reigning Malawian sportsman of the year. No pool player in all billiards has ever achieved that feat. And what can 𝐶𝐟 do with 𝐴𝐻𝐿 opting to play thin white? Looks like it has pulled off. Looks like it has been a foul. I'm even not sure from my camera angle. I may even have to play the shot again. Actually, 𝐶𝐟 played a little off the yellow. But again, 𝐴𝐻𝐿 has nowhere to hide. He must take this frame down. Even though it's one of those matches that you play thinking maybe I may try, but my try may not be good enough. Still, he must try. It is not just him playing for himself. He's representing his management team, Big Girls, and also, most importantly, he's representing the warm heart of Africa as his country, Malawi, is called. 𝐴𝐻𝐿 will be playing the last red into the corner pocket top right. Play the cue ball a little backwards. Almost got it sunk, but played it into the jaw. Can put black into center, can go for the corner pocket. He's going for the center, ensuring white is safe, and black is potted. And 𝐴𝐻𝐿, for the very first time in the race, does win a frame. That will be a little sigh of relief for him, not for the fact that he's winning a frame, but most importantly, it's a confidence boost because the game is played so much in the mind as much as in the hands. Malawi 1 and Uganda 7. Tanya Augustine is asking about the length of the race. Augustine, it is race to 15 with $1,500 at stake. Not very big money, and respectably so. By the way, this I have to tell you, I'm one person that doesn't believe so much in big pots, although I'm involved in them. In the organization, I respect what the players have to offer. I want to keep it a sport, a game, not so much of a gamble. Sometimes I even go back home really condoling with whoever has lost too much money. Within those 3,000 and 5,000 and 6,000 pots were played, most especially in Kenya earlier this year when there was a lot of inflation. Inflation, I'm meaning inflating the pots and the stakes. 𝐶𝐶 will not be inflating the movement of the balls. The player that is leading is one guy that I once streamed a match where he beat another of the best players on the African continent with a very alarming score. 21 frames to 4. This guy defeated Kelvin. And the biggest humiliation in a money match that I've ever witnessed with my eyes between two players, again, was this guy when he was 3 years younger, a lot smaller, with all the same sharpness that he still has on the pool table. When he played a race to 21 for 1 hour and 45 minutes, every time I look at that video, I don't believe that that's even the time it took. Yes, that's how much he needed to defeat Simon Luvula, one of Uganda's best players, by 21 frames to 2. When 𝐶𝐶 means to win, sometimes he can mean to be very unforgiving. Now he has the red close to 3 yellows to pot, I think by bank, off the bottom cushion into the side pocket at the top, and it's in white off the cushion and in perfect position. Maybe 𝐴𝐤𝐻 could be counting on the position of yellow close to red to disturb the movement of 𝐶𝐶's white, for 𝐴𝐤𝐻 to have another chance to play in the frame. 𝐶𝐶 will want to avoid the contact between white and yellow, but have contact between white and cushion. White avoids yellow. It's played into the cushion and loses pressure after bouncing off the cushion, and has a relative easy black to pot to extend his lead, and it's successful. Beast mode activated by the Scorpion. He stings into 𝐴𝐤𝐻 and leads by 8 frames to 1, racing to 15,500 US dollars in Lagos, in Nigeria.
These guys are complaining. Show. When you shake the leg,
Shake the camera.
okay.
Sorry. Thank you for watching Kateko Sodi. I hope I've not murdered your name. You're watching from the Facebook stream. You're noting that 𝐶𝐶 is spotting all his blacks with stop shot. That is, by the way, a nice observation. Ologe Simon, you said the Scorpion in his version today is quite scary. Yes, it is. And Genesis Mzai Maka, you said 𝐴𝐤𝐻 has already been stung by the Scorpions. Well, Pangwa Setu must be watching from South Africa. Maybe from the whole of South Africa. The happier guy of them all should be Mariza, who I think will be having a very happy evening if 𝐶𝐶 wins. And this, I have to say that I have never seen 𝐶𝐶 surrender a lead this big. If 𝐴𝐤𝐻 wins this match, it will be some kind of history he would have made for himself. And it won't come any easier for him, because the guy that is so far leading is wearing a very tough face, a very serious face, as though he's trading. What I know, he still has yesterday's defeat in mind. You don't want to be an opponent of this guy when he has a score to settle. Look at movement of whites. Well, his intention is to have white in sight of the red that is leftwards of the two. From my camera angle, I'm not sure he has it. From his body language, I think he got himself snookered. But he will want to play it. A little curve of the cue ball, a little round the yellow. Success white off two cushions. Could get himself snookered. He's relatively safe. The idea is maybe to play white off the cushion into the red, try to put to corner pocket. Goes for the straight cut. He just narrowly misses it, and 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 narrowly survives. This, I have to tell you, Stanford doesn't have a very good record in money matches. The best that he's been winning, I remember him beating Pila Mazambani twice in South Africa early this year. Okay, I'll not say that one is so surprising. Of course, 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 is a very good player. Pila is good too, but 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 is something else. 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 won a race and lost another against Ishmael Mtetwa, racing to 21 at Mchana Pub and Grill. As Caesar comes off the cushion, as he finds the red, as he inspires celebration from the fans. As 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 snookers yet again. Now the angle Caesar used to find red prior has as well been snookered this time round. He may come off the bottom cushion, but with big right spin on the cue ball, which is what he's doing. White between cushion and black. There it goes, and finds the black and puts it under the wrist. Should be a formality, but with assumption that he passes black in between cushion and yellow at the corner pocket at the bottom left. And so he does. The Scorpion stings once again. It is Stanford Griven 1 and Chandigarh Caesar 9, and the rest to 15, $4,500.
Now 9, no? 9.
Now, the kind of performance that Caesar is putting up so far, I can compare this to the demolition he had of Kelvin earlier this year, the demolition he had of Computer 3 years ago. Maybe the first race between himself and Aiden, that by the way he lost, but the level of play for both of players was completely fantastic and recommendable. And this performance, at least in the first 10 frames, can equal all of those, if not surpass. And as for 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚, he surely must start winning some frames. You don't want to be this down when playing against Caesar. And I know that while these two players go on well with each other, they have some bit of rivalry between themselves. I do remember when streaming the final of the Q Masters International Carnival in Dar es Salaam in August last year, when Royd was taking on Caesar. An interview which I did make with 𝐴𝐤𝐻𝐚 during the course of play, he told me he was supporting Royd and wanted Caesar to learn that he supported Royd. I'm not saying that that is offense, but that is the reason for players sometimes to want to beat each other. But it's not just that they are beating each other, it is just one of them beating the other, at least for the course of the match. And Another frame is going down in favor of the same player, and it is 10 frames to 1 in the least amount of time, in the most brutal way, in the most unforgiving style. The Scorpion extends the lead to double figures, starting now to see some light at the end of the tunnel, needing to win 5, while his opponent needs to win 14 out of the remaining 18. Chandega Caesar 10 and Stanford Griven Ginte 1. When it's not your day, it just ain't your day. And the breaks just don't favor you, and the pots, and making it worse of all when your opponent is playing the game of their life. The Caesar that is playing now, anybody may have to think twice before taking him on. Now this is setting the stage very set. If Caesar wins with a relative big margin, the match between himself and Jerry, when it comes, will be the mother of all crackers. And yes, it is coming, and it is coming very, very soon. Backspin off cushion into red, lovely skill. Maybe just the commentator's suspicion that Caesar wanted to play white into the red that is touching yellow at the base of the table at the bottom right. While the shot was lovely to see, most especially given the movement of white, the efficiency was not spot on. He will go. This is almost comic. You're kidding me, Caesar. You just cannot do that. You cannot cut a ball that sharp. Now comes Ginte with nowhere to hide. I even don't know why he's not asking for timeout. He really needs that. Maybe he needs to lower Caesar's beast mode. Try and play him out of confidence, because Caesar is really, really burning to go. Ginte needs to go out, then think of a new pattern, maybe. Go for the negative break. Maybe go defensive, but he's as well not so good at that. But just to lower Caesar's confidence. That's what he needs to do. Besides victory against Ishmael, which I think is one of Ginte's most respectable ever performances in a money match. Yes, he lost one race and won in the other, but also he lost one and won another against Tanzania's Abdallah Hussein, besides winning 2 money matches against South Africa's Pillar Mazambani Nkosi, and critically both played in South Africa. Even when having a 9-frame lead, the Scorpion is still fighting on and on and on. Ginte is shaking his head around the place as though not believing what is hitting him, as he fails to make a pot that easy, as he fails to play to effectiveness. And yes, as he fouls, 𝐶𝐿 will be having cue ball in hand. The Malawian is just played out of confidence. He knows maybe in his mind that he's fighting a losing battle. And with the will be bad of 5 reds on the table played near the cushion, that is near the pocket, sorry. There is seemingly one way this frame is going. It could be going the same way as 9 of the first 10. Maybe 10 of the first 11, as it is now seemingly being an 11th out of the first 12. In what is turning out the biggest humiliation between two classy players in the history of African pool. When 𝐶𝐿 played against the computer, after 12 frames played, I do remember it was 10-2. When 𝐶𝐿 played against Kelvin, after 12 frames played, it was 10-2. As 𝐶𝐿 is playing against Malawi, if after 12 frames played, it will be 11-1. This one could be the biggest start in terms of humiliating mode to a money match that is played between two big names of African pool. But 𝐶𝐿 seems to have lost a little bit of movement of whites. As a matter of recovery, of course, there is a red to pot, but white isn't natural for the last. He may have to play it with power. Play white off the left cushion, bring it all the way back rightwards, but bottomwards. He may want to put the last red on the table to the corner pocket at the bottom right, but it needs a lot of skill, especially avoiding playing white into any of 𝐴𝐺𝐻's reds. It's 𝐴𝐺𝐻's yellows, sorry, but this is a shot. Will it avoid the yellows? Yes, it will. Maximum precision from the Scorpion. I can't believe my eyes. The next shot to be played with the backspin off the yellow, but doesn't pot. And come on, 𝐴𝐺𝐻, please fight for the frame. We need this match alive. Personally, this I have to tell you, I don't like watching one-sided matches. They can also mean to be very demotivating to players. Imagine when you train and train and train, then you lose a big match with a big score, with all the time taken, with all the hours in flight with Ethiopian Airlines by 𝐴𝐺𝐻 from Kamuzu International Airport in the long way to Jomo Kenyatta in Nairobi, from Jomo Kenyatta to Lagos to play in the comp and take on 𝐶𝐿 and then be humiliated this way. I don't like seeing it. It could be redemption time for 𝐴𝐺𝐻. I doubt he will want to play to pot, but he's going for the pot. Okay. He does have the potting ability. There is no shadow of a doubt. I even wouldn't say for certain that 𝐶𝐿 can pot more accurate than this guy, but it's just that 𝐶𝐿's pattern is being a little too much. Redemption for 𝐴𝐺𝐻. If he pots black, he does. A polite reminder to the Scorpion that while 𝐴𝐺𝐻 is down, he's not yet out. The Malawian pulls one back. 12 frames played, 𝐴𝐺𝐻 2 and 𝐶𝐿 10. Come on, 𝐴𝐤𝐚, say the fans. By the way, 𝐴𝐤𝐚 is a very big name in Nigeria. He's nicknamed the Igwe. He was the first international player to open their eyes. They just don't want to see him humiliated. He's fighting for himself, fighting for them, fighting for Malawi, fighting for big kills. His fight has so far not been good enough, but at least he seems to be on the verge of winning 2 frames in a row. For what will be the very first time in the match. He will wait before a rowdy fan keeps quiet and will be shooting and will be potting black. And will be finishing off the frame with 1 visit of the table. And 𝐴𝐤𝐚 comes on. It is 3 for 𝐴𝐤𝐚 and 10 for 𝐶𝐠, and rest to 15, $4,500 US here at the Institute of Sports, Lagos State, Lagos City, Nigeria. 𝐴𝐤𝐚 3 and 𝐶𝐠 10. $3.10, dear viewers. Of all things that I'm seeing and enjoying is the fact that now the match is on. It is not just one player against himself like it was for the first 10 frames. We now have a game. The only big disadvantage to 𝐴𝐤𝐚 is that the lead of 𝐶𝐠 is a little too big. Otherwise, now I can see the 𝐴𝐤𝐚 that I know. The player that I'm watching is the same player that now won Billiards Cafe Classic in 2023. He's shooting like the guy that came in the final at Club Timbuktu in 2025. The finalist of Queens in 2025 is now shooting pretty much like the reigning Malawian sportsman of the year. He will have 2 yellows to pot, and then the black, and then a third. These ones he normally takes down. Again, putting the last yellow to the corner pocket at the top right, drawing white leftwards, and the rest is a formality. Break and finish. 𝐴𝐤𝐚 4 and 𝐶𝐠 10, and the rest to 15.
Give the money!
Thank you for watching Dalesma 1. You said that Juju works in South African time. You're funny. Karwani Festo, you say some entertaining pool display now. Yes. It is only good for Paul how good 𝐴𝐤𝐚 is playing now. Agozi Michael, you say that 𝐴𝐤𝐚 is playing like the Igwe. Yes, 𝐴𝐤𝐚, by the way, is nicknamed the Igwe. 𝐴𝐤𝐚, they call him Boss Chappers. After being the first non-Nigerian tour to make a tour of this country sometime last year, he beat everybody that there was, including head-starting the best player in the country, Shehu Bamidele, and beating him with his head start right in the heart of his own home country. It is in fact 𝐴𝐤𝐚 that inspired big kills to sign up players outside Nigeria. Maybe 𝐴𝐤𝐚 is some kind of inspiration behind having this competition. Anyways, and I do dedicate this stream to him, the first player, the first manager that had 𝐴𝐤𝐚 as his own boy, still has him as his son. Yes, a special dedication of this live stream to you, manager Mindres, must be watching this action, I think, from Blantyre. But he will not be a very happy guy. The only thing that will make him happy is the fact that 𝐴𝐿 has won 3 frames in a row. In fact, if someone has just tuned into this action, maybe the last 10 minutes, and has been watching 𝐴𝐿 play, must have wondered how this guy lost all those frames prior. More like it now, more like 𝐴𝐿, more like the Igwe, more like the boss chappers. One of the most jolly guys, one of the most friendly players of them all. He will be playing black for the 4th time in a row. He will be a bit worried and afraid about the position of white, but yes, it is cuttable into most especially the side pocket. Top has to be careful with the white. White is safe. Black is sunk. Another frame won by 𝐴𝐿. Game on. 𝐴𝐿 5 and 𝐶𝐿 10. Rest 15. It is now 𝐴𝐿 doing what 𝐶𝐿 was doing prior. That is why I love the game pool. We have a match. We have entertainment. We have competition. We have quality versus quality. 5 for 𝐴𝐿 and 10 for 𝐶𝐿. And some shout out to you, my special Facebookers. Solomon Konjera, my friend. The one that told me at one time that he's Malawi number 2. And then I watched Solomon play and I discovered he is as weak as Francis Mukwekwe. Raymond Manjengwa, thank you for watching as well on the Facebook stream, supporting 𝐴𝐿. Spencer Janda. And yes, you seem to be enjoying your show now. Fred Mweru, you say 𝐶𝐿 is now scared. Let's see how it goes. Scott, watching from the Facebook stream. King Jimmy, you say 𝐴𝐿 will never beat 𝐶𝐿 in a money match. Come on, 𝐴𝐿 may do now, eh? Tapaz Mashata, you say 𝐶𝐿 hasn't mastered the break, and 𝐴𝐿 has noted that. Deng Luot must be watching from Sudan. Cole Moscow, welcome to the Facebook stream. And Anthony Egesa, always watching that one. Senyo Isaac Sams must be watching from Uganda, seems to be supporting 𝐶𝐿. Simon Oluge, as well as Genesis, thank you for watching. As 𝐶𝐿 goes for yet another clearance, as he aims for the yellows. But also, as we shout out to others of you like Tanaka Mwatupa, watching from Kipixos Photography, Facebook, Bulem Mpongwana, and Chimi Banda. Thank you for watching, and many of you, with 𝐶𝐿 having one relative big shot. That one is very sweet control of the cue ball. We'll want to roll the last yellow by red drive into the corner pocket at the bottom right. Maybe play white into red. White moves a distance away from the black. What 𝐶𝐿 should have done with intent was have white played into red to stop its leftward movement. The only way to recover is by potting black. If he doesn't, 𝐴𝐿 may pounce its support anyways, and the lead of the Scorpion is extended. That one is not just to win a frame, but just to lower the fire that has been burning in 𝐴𝐿 for the last 4 frames that the Malawian won all in a row. As a matter of scoreline, dear viewers, it is now 𝐴𝐻𝐻 5 and 𝐶𝐻𝐳 11 and the rest to 15 for $1,500. The Scorpion breaks. The break is void. The 8 ball is potted. He will be breaking the same frame again. No score recorded. 𝐶𝐻𝐳 11 and 𝐴𝐻𝐻 5. There is a lot of business going on here. I'm meaning side business. I'm meaning gambling between the players. Not the players on the table, but other players who are now becoming fans of the players and the Nigerian fans. I also love the passion. I do have about 300 people also standing behind my streaming position, and many of them paid to access the venue. Of course, so beautiful it is when you get to watch the stars that you always watch on social media. Now they come right in front of your eyes. When you are an addicted sports lover, that is a reason to stay awake. And also thank you very much all of you that are staying awake up to these late hours. Now in your thousands from my own streams, we're about watching live at the same time 1,100. Thank you. Sorry, it is 2,100. Thank you, Africa. And so many more watching from 𝐾𝐿 Photography. Thank you once again. This is the last match of the day, and it seems the organizing committee of the Big Girls International Pool Clash is saving the best for last. Who doesn't like to watch offensive pool? Who doesn't like to watch players go against each other? And in a way, I just want to respect 𝐴𝐻𝐻. Even when he saw that 𝐶𝐻𝐳 was playing 𝐶𝐻𝐳 was close to perfect for the first 10 frames. 𝐴𝐻𝐻 remained brave. He didn't even change the playing style. He thought, he said, yes, I can match you at offense. And 𝐴𝐻𝐻 was able to win 4 frames in a row at a point where he himself turned the beast mode on. But now we know who the master of the beast mode is. It is this guy who now has sight of the last yellow, which he'll want to put to the same corner pocket as the black, with white bouncing off the cushion, and the rest is a formality. A second frame won in quick succession by the Scorpion, with one visit of the table to win 2 consecutive frames to regain a 7-frame lead. It is now 𝐴𝐻𝐻 5 and 𝐶𝐻𝐳 12 and the rest to 15. 𝐶𝐻𝐳 needing to win 3 and 𝐴𝐻𝐻 10 of the remaining 12 or succumb to defeat. Just in case you are only now joining the stream, it is the last action of the day that has seen about 15 or 14 matches being played in the main comp. But the organization by the Big Girls management team was to have the sessions close off the action of each of 4 days, including this. That is seeing the Big Girls player Stanford Given Ginter being taken to some kind of pool school by the ATA's 𝐶𝐶 Chandigarh, racing to 15. 𝐶𝐶 leads by 12 frames to 5, and it's playing like could win a 13th and could win it now. For the guy that has got a very wonderful record in money matches against all of Uganda's players, the best of them that dared to play him for the course of the last 4 years. Nowadays, he seems to have beaten them into submission. It is close to unlikely that he will have a money match at home. There's 2 realistic competition in the continent in terms of money matches. That is 2 South Africans, Aiden Joseph and Jeremiah Naido. Of the 2, it is Jerry, that is the player, the only one of them all that has a positive head-to-head performance ratio in sessions against 𝐶𝐶. But again, 𝐶𝐶 has a better record against Jerry between the 2 when they have met in competitions, that is tournaments. And the 2 will get to face off again after tomorrow's action in what will be the best awaited match maybe on the continent this year so far, and maybe, who knows, maybe in the competition in the latter stages, because both of them are still alive. The Scorpion will want to maintain this apple alive. If he puts red, of course he will. If white is maintained well for the black, which will not be easy, he may be winning 3 frames in quick succession without dropping a single shot on table. Of course, he'll have to play with top spin, white bouncing off the cushion with a lot of English on it. Maybe play white into black, white into yellow, and 𝐶𝐶 is possibly snookered at least partially. He has to be careful. Maybe a sharp cut onto the black. Bank in, lucky, but it will still count a 3rd frame in quick succession by the Scorpion without dropping a single shot on table. The venom of the Scorpion of the day is a little too poisonous for Ginter. The lead now grows to 8 frames for the first time in the match, racing to 15, 𝐶𝐶 13, and Ginter 5 for $1,500. When you see shaky videography for a few times, please accept my apologies. The fans are too rowdy, too excited to see their stars. We just jump around the place when shots are taken, they end up shaking the tables around, and the video is affected that way. When it does happen, please, once again, accept my apologies. But like I said, I don't think Caesar will be apologizing to anybody for what he's seemingly pending to do. At least Ginter has stopped this from being a very big humiliation. At one time, it seemed like Caesar could win this by 15-2 or 3 or something. The 5 frames that Ginter has won included 4 that were won in quick succession of each other, and all of them without dropping a single shot. And yet at the time, he was trading by 10 frames to 1. He made it 10-4. At that point, it was himself that was playing like he's possessed. And given the circumstance, I do applaud him for that. In fact, it's a match where he's not been really playing poorly. It's just that his opponent has just not been playable. You imagine when the 5 frames you've won included 4 that you won without dropping a single shot. That means your opponent has just not been allowing you to play. But now Ginter is allowed to play. Now he has yet another chance. Now could make it 6. Fighting on and on. I believe this is what his manager wants. Even when the day is not good, your boss will want to see you having the fight in yourself. Fighting for the management, but also importantly, fighting for country. Fighting for Malawi. Again, Ginter will not be lucky here. His intention was to have sight of the red closest to his fingers, which he doesn't, but seems to be recovering. He's another of Africa's potting machines. It's just that today is not his day. Otherwise, when he gets the chance to show what he can do, he has as well been showing it very, very well. But there has been a very narrow miss. And it's as well looking scary. Caesar could put yellow, play white into the red of Ginter. He comes a little short, but it's still relatively okay. For as long as he can make a ball, there will always be a way. He'll be playing the yellow that is in between the 3, drawing the cue ball leftwards, just like that. Again with back spinning, white is played towards the top right end of the table, exactly where he needs it, near the red, just like that. You see how quick the frame was about to be won by Ginter. Now even quicker, the same frame is about to be won by Caesar. The very narrow margins that always exist between victory and defeat. The frame will at the end of the day be won by the Scorpion. Caesar 14 and Ginter 5. The Malawian needs to win, 10 frames in a row. Of course, he will not see that coming, or else he will be losing the match. And while I shouted out to the people that have been behind Ginter's career so far, I will also dedicate this match to those that have been behind Caesar's career so far. At least I've seen his career rising from the boy that came from West Nile in Uganda to the star that he is of African pool today. Thank you so much for the work. Stephen Ojara, Robert Onekalit, Hans Rugari, Stephen Austin, Council Ramadan Omonya, and nowadays Caesar's boss, Manager Kim, as we call him, the boss of the ATA. And all of that team will seemingly have a happy day. They will be expecting that the Scorpion will be making them proud with a victory that 𝐴𝐤𝐴 seems to be prolonging by winning the frame. A victory that seems to be made in heaven, at least for the course of the match so far. And 𝐴𝐤𝐴 misses the ball, while for the course of the day today, missing a ball against 𝐶𝐿 has tantamounted to missing that ongoing frame. 𝐶𝐿 needs to port a ball, maybe red, to the center pocket top where there is a yellow of 𝐴𝐤𝐴. It is a miss, a big miss. He didn't even come close. He didn't play it into the jaw, he played it into the flat cushion. Maybe it will be 𝐴𝐤𝐴's turn, but maybe not. And if 𝐴𝐤𝐴 doesn't win this frame, it will be the ending to the match. That could be a brief summary of what the match has been for him. Anyways, now needing to recover is the Scorpion. He will want to play snooker. A total snooker it is. Not only has he snookered his opponent, even the direct angle has been snookered. 𝐴𝐤𝐴 will want to play off cushion with the right English on white to find yellow, and he successfully misses the yellow, with 𝐶𝐿 playing red into yellow for a free shot, with him playing connection and playing white leftwards, going for victory, going for glory, going for redemption, and going for $1,500. At this rate, 𝐴𝐤𝐴 can only wait and watch and hope and pray and expect, but it seems it will count for nothing, most especially when 𝐶𝐿 is wounded from defeat against Ian yesterday. Now needing to equalize in the series, hoping to improve his money match count of matches against Jerry tomorrow, but first to try and defeat 𝐴𝐤𝐴. A victory for the Scorpion that has always seemed to be coming for almost the course of the match. The match that has kept thousands of African fans awake throughout the course of the night is now coming seemingly to a Scorpion evening, as long as he can port black to either of the corner pockets at the top or bottom of the screen. On the left, it will be victory for the Scorpion. He will aim and aim and aim with backspin and shoot and misses. 𝐴𝐤𝐴 survives. And for 𝐴𝐤𝐴, no prize for guessing what he's about to do next. Of course, safety. Not safe enough though, because 𝐶𝐿 has sight of the black. He may play safe as well or go for the bank. He goes for safety. It is a legal shot and seemingly safe enough. Safety after safety. The match that was a potting competition is now turning into a tactical affair. And 𝐶𝐿 has with intent left the black close to the cushion, close to being dead, and 𝐴𝐤𝐴 will be playing his yellow not to port. I'm not so certain he intended to port, but yes, he has rolled the yellow in. He can shoot in the black, he can, but he won't. He'll be playing safety. He could take it in. Yes, he does. Whether with intent, whether on purpose, whether with luck, it will count for a frame. Malawi and 𝐴𝐤𝐴 and Big Carol 6, 𝐶𝐿 and ATA and Uganda 14, rest to 15. As 𝐴𝐤𝐴 breaks, dear viewers, the break is dry. Dry enough for 𝐶𝐿 to think and imagine and contemplate and believe that this could be it. Wanting to close off the action of the day before midnight West African time, with him failing to close the table. Maybe a little bit of fatigue is coming in. But from a 𝐾𝐿 perspective, a chance to win yet another. All he can do is try and win the frame that is upon him. Now this is the frame, but this is the miss. The miss of hope for Caesar. The miss that creates a chance for the Ugandan to manipulate one clearance. That could be the worth of $1,500, which will not be putting Caesar in any kind of profit. It will be him healing from the wounds that were inflicted upon himself by Ian yesterday. That is if he wins, which is not a big if. Maybe will I say when he wins. And here comes the Scorpion again. As he goes for glory. He has lowered his playing speed. A statement of intent that he's here to mean business. I even don't think Caesar is playing for the money. No. He's trying to settle a score. And I saw him after losing yesterday. I even saw him earlier this morning. He had not recovered. I don't think he expected that kind of defeat. He took it a little too personal, and he's making 𝐾𝐿 pay for Ian's sins. And the chance for him to win the frame and the race now grows even bigger, with the number of yellows left on the table reduced to 3, with cue ball natural for 2 of them if he puts one, which of course he will, with cue ball bouncing a little off the cushion. And the yellow that is closer to white should be potted to the center pocket at the bottom, with white being played maybe into another yellow, maybe by top spin to follow the yellow is playing. And as he gets the yellow on target, you are right to be worried if you're watching this from Blantyre and Lilongwe, where 𝐾𝐿 is being supported bigly. But if you're watching from Kampala and Gulu and Arua and Koboko, you have every right to celebrate, because the Scorpion has just the black to pot to record his first victory in the money match tour of Lagos in Nigeria, going for the black for victory, for glory, for $1,500. And the black is sunk by the Scorpion. As he's congratulated by his opponent, he does win the match, as the fans will be getting up their seats to go home after a long day and a long night that has been climaxing to an early morning, as Caesar wins the last match of the day by 15 frames to 6. It will be a very good night for him, and will be a very wonderful build-up to the match that should be playing against Jerry, hopefully in 24 hours time. Final score in the race: Chandega Caesar 15 and Stanford Griven 𝐾𝐿 6. I wish you a very good rest of the evening. May the Almighty God bless you. Good night and Ushe.